Brooklyn Nets vlog.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. And, I just want to start off saying that the Brooklyn Nets are going to go forward, keeping Cam Johnson. I don't think that should be a lot of offseason chatter about it being the other way. I think we should go 100 for us keeping Cam Johnson. Also, there's a lot of conversation about what we should do in the off season. Some of it I want to entertain. Shout to these fans. I'm gonna read some of the comments. I'll be in a lot of chats in Facebook, and these guys really be talking sports. And I kind of wanted to go back and forth with some of these guys, about what they were saying about what we should do with Dame Lillard. I hear Dame Lillard and trade package. I heard Mikal Bridges and Dame Lillard was on a live together. I actually seen it myself. They look like they trying to put something together. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And my thing is, what is the package that we get for Dame? What package do we get? We get that 4th draft pick. If we get that 4th or 3rd pick, whatever pick Portland got, do we make them immediate impact on our team? Far as going forward, do they get minutes? Do they get opportunity to score the ball, to play, to help us win? Or is that what we doing? I imagine the top with the Portland pick have to be NBA ready. They will have to give them minutes. I'm only giving credit to this because it seemed like that's the direction they're going. There's 2 conversations that I have. One, what I want the Brooklyn Nets to do. 2, which sometimes is entirely different, is what the Brooklyn Nets actually do. So I don't know what they're actually going to do, but I do entertain some of these conversations. I think they're interesting. I seen a picture of Ben Simmons. Hopefully he come back healthy, but we'll see. Got into some. Hold on, I'll get into that later. Let's see. I hear everybody. I heard a few Nets fans saying they wanted to get Bob Myers and fire Sean Marks. I don't know how likely that is for him to come to the Brooklyn Nets with Sean Marks still in the front office. I don't see Josiah firing Sean Marks to hire Bob Myers, even with the reputation that Bob Myers has. I just don't see Josiah making that move on against Sean Marks. I don't see it happening. So I won't entertain it, but I will say I think he will go somewhere. This season soon. I think he will go somewhere soon. Where? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. These Knicks fans is funny, man. Y'all should see my page, man. I'll be going at it with these Knicks fans. Or okay. All right, let's see. They talking about Ben Simmons. Hold on, let's see. All right, hold on. Let's see. Ben Simmons highlights. We really wish he would play well, but we gotta see. We'll wait and see. Clips of me and KB and We Want the City, the podcast. I'll be throwing up old clips. Alright, let's see. I think I skipped past a few of these. Alright, let's see. Yeah, they ain't really saying nothing. I'll get to it. Oh man, Barry, he funny. He stayed trolling me about Ben Simmons. Got into it with him yesterday about that too. What? Got into it. Emmanuel, Emmanuel Va, yeah, Knicks fan talking spicy. This is Barry talking spicy on my page. I told you, talking spicy on my page. So a Nets fan, my guy, he said Nets fan PG. Barry did say Brandon Wright. I'm lying though. My guy Brandon, he like maybe not, but I never count out someone that made it to the top before. Respect to my guy, man. I'm gonna like that post right there. I mean, shout to my guy. You know what I mean? Barry Garrix, he said, "Oh, you really believe in Simmons?" Barry be talking spicy about Ben Simmons all the time, man. Like, sheesh, man. Brandon Wright said, I believe in the underdog. Oh, shout to my guy Brandon holding it down on the Nets fan page, you heard? Barry said, I don't know about Simmons. Brandon said it's all up to Ben. The media overhype everything. If he doesn't come back balling, I'm not surprised, but I feel like he may come back going crazy. I mean, me, I just throw the salt in there because this is what Barry is. He's all of these different kind of salts because of Ben Simmons. He won't let it go. Every day he trolls me about Ben Simmons, so he's Red Cross salt. Yeah, man, he's Red Cross salt, man. And all of these other salts too. Stop being Red Cross salt, man. Always got something to say about Ben Simmons. Emmanuel Vaz said the process got tired of him and they did good with Tyrese Maxey Priest coming off the bench to be productive for the 76ers. He called him Maxey Priest. That's funny. While Ben Simmons was still on the bench following my garbage Knicks in the second round of the playoffs, Nets equal swept, divided 2 years of winless playoff runs. You talking spicy, laughing emoji. I'm not laughing with you. I'm sorry. What a joke, and that's not funny. I don't think that's funny. Where them at? Whatever happened to the Where Brooklyn Nets TV commercials? Brooklyn right here. I'm gonna make another one. I'm gonna do it. Don't worry about it. He said, and Brooklyn Knicks toasting in Knickerbockers we with my wheelchair. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. You're a dope fan. You try to cook me, but I can't allow that. You know what I'm saying? I can't allow that. Brandon said, burn that hat. Get it out of here, man. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Hugh Jazz in the building. He said, I think we should skip on Siakam. Okay, forget Siakam. We don't want Siakam. We talking is Dame coming to the team, and if Dame coming to the team, who do we have to give up for Dame to come to the team? That is the question. Who do we have to give up for Dame to come to the team? That's what I'm asking you. Excuse me. Because it seemed like they want that to happen. And I'm not going to lie, when you think about the Nets and having successful basketball, it's because of explosive point guard play. Kenny Anderson, Jason Kidd. Y'all follow me? D'Lo, right? Kyrie. We need an explosive point guard. Someone that could score the ball. Someone that could do that. Ben Simmons is supposed to do what Kidd did. And Kyrie was supposed to do what Kenny Anderson did. I said this on another stream. God did prior. Like, share, comment, subscribe, man. Listen, when it comes down to the Brooklyn Nets and us getting Dame Lillard is a very likely situation. His contract is heavy. Simmons for Dame Lillard is impossible. But who is Dame Lillard once we get past the name? Let's look at his stats. Let's get out of the, we know he nice. Let's look at what he actually did. What did he do for Portland? How many times did he go to the playoffs? How many games did he play? How many games did he miss? Did he have injuries? How long was he out because of the injuries? Is it a nagging injury? These are the questions you want to ask because, I mean, I like Dame Lillard, but I don't know if he should be the point guard for this team, especially when we got Cam Thomas that could play the two. You know, you get some scoring right there. You put Mikal Bridges at 3, Cam Johnson at 4, and Nick Claxton at 5. That's kind of a small lineup, but we need help on the bench, some nastiness and grittiness on the bench. How could we get that nastiness and grittiness? Because we get it from young guys in the draft. Walker Kessler was a good guy in his first year. Can we get a player like Walker Kessler that's good on the defensive side of the ball and rebounding? Oh, you, uh, he said Trey Ben Simmons and shit. Nah, man. Nah, man. Yo, why you talking spicy like that? Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Yo, Dinwiddie work out 2, 3 times a day, man. You know, I seen what KD doing right now, catching a tan. Stop it. Don't do that. Dinwiddie working out. He know he got work to do. He ain't one of these proven players. He still got something to do with his career. He want to play basketball. Everybody talking about Dame Lillard coming to the team, and this is another situation where Dinwiddie could be disgruntled because he might not get the bag from Brooklyn because of this Dame Lillard situation. He don't want to find himself getting traded. Part of us getting Dinwiddie back was for us to restore the culture. Dinwiddie had a bad playoff series versus the Philadelphia 76ers. So I understand people wanting to upgrade on the point guard position. It makes sense. It does. But what if Dinwiddie just played better because, he got more time to work with? You got 82 games. Do you not want to give Dinwiddie a chance and take a Dame Lillard situation? Dame Lillard is what's going on, him and Mikal Bridges, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson is on the same page, but it don't seem like Dinwiddie and Mikal Bridges on the same page. I seen an interview with Dinwiddie, man. You know, he was talking about some other shit. He ain't make it seem like he couldn't play with them. He didn't want to play with him, but you know, just looking at it on the business side, I'm just trying to figure out how Dinwiddie fits in this equation, in this situation. You know, trying to figure it out. And we gonna figure it out. Because I want to know if Dame is a good situation. Dame Lillard. Now, let's see. For the Brooklyn Nets. Is Dame a good situation? He averaged 32 points last season. Okay. Where's his shooting splits? His last game was in March? March 22nd? Wow. Wow. I mean, he get buckets. He go to the line a lot. He was 2 for 10. He shot 10 3-pointers. I'm not in love with that. 8 3-pointers, 15 3-pointers, 17 3-pointers. I mean, he hit 8 out of 17. I kind of like that. 6 out of 15, I don't like that. 1 out of 8, 2 for 10, I don't like that. 2 for 8, 2 for 8. I'm like, he's not like, come on. Well, these numbers are not impressive. And these are all losses, actually. They were losing a lot of games. He's just putting up a lot of threes, and if that's his itinerary, and he's just gonna come here and put up threes because he could shoot the ball. The defense know what you're gonna do. We need somebody that's gonna go to the basket. I'm not sure if Dame Lillard is a good fit for the Brooklyn Nets. What's all this hype around him for? We need somebody that's gonna attack the basket. Okay, I mean, let's call it what it is. You took 19 shots. 10 of those was 3-pointers. You hit 8 shots. Most of the shots you hit were 2-pointers. Why you taking more 3-pointers than 2-pointers? You took 10, you took 3-pointers, and you took 9 2-pointers. I don't like that. I don't like that mix for a guard. I need my guard to go to the paint a little bit more than that, especially if you're shooting 2 for 10. I don't know if I like Dame Lillard for the Brooklyn Nets, man. It's my unpopular opinion. You know what I mean? Word. Hugh Jazz says we should sign Xavier Tillman. He a free agent. I think he would fit the big man spot perfectly. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. See, Hugh Jazz with me. He said he don't know about Lillard neither. Facts, I agree. I don't think Lillard should be a go for real. I think we need to slow down, be hesitant. Mikal Bridges is not the GM. Yes, Mikal Bridges is right for Cam Johnson. I hold on the Dame Lillard situation. Don't touch it. Stay safe from the Dame Lillard situation. Don't touch it. We got a lot of time to consider a lot of other things. There's a lot of different contracts and players that's going to be moved around. So realistically, I'm trying to see how they're going to structure it. In my opinion, they package players to get a bigger player. But again, we can't avoid the deficiencies of the team opposed to looking for talent. Dame Lillard does not fix the rebounding situation. Dame Lillard should not be priority for that reason. Hold off on the Dame Lillard situation. It's a big contract, and we don't have nothing to match that for, you know what I mean? So we better going through the draft before we do anything with the trade, or do we use some of those trade? Do we use some? I don't go forward with the Dame situation. I fall back off of that. I'm gonna be honest. I agree with having an explosive point guard like Kenny Anderson or Jason Kidd. I agree with that. So Dame Lillard makes sense because of that. I agree with that. But I don't agree with Dame Lillard coming there knowing his last game was in March. That's April. That's April. No, 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 no. Well, April is the playoffs, really. So let me see something. Let me take a further look. Let me take a further look. Mm, okay. He played 58 games last season. The season before that, he played 29 games. He pretty much plays all the games. He has a good track record of of being, being there. He's more healthier than not healthy. You know, I can see that. He gets the benefit of the doubt. Always been a scoring threat, increased in scoring, and if not, stay consistent. One team went from 2018 to 2019 to 2020 season, went from 25 points to 30 points. That's a big jump. He stayed kind of consistent with that with 28 points the next season, dropped off to 24 points this next season, and then last season with 58 games, averaged 32 points. He's been there for 10 years, and let's see how much winning basketball Dame Lillard actually played. How many playoff games did he actually win? How many? But and maybe he could be a situation like Drew Holiday was for Milwaukee, where his track record wasn't that good with the New Orleans in the playoff way, but we always knew he was a good player and he did contribute to the Milwaukee Bucks winning with Drew Holiday and the Milwaukee Bucks, and maybe that could be kind of the same situation, you know, of Dame Lillard in the Brooklyn Nets, where he could help us win playoff games. I've seen some conversations where they got Nurkic in the trade package too. You know, I go back and forth with it. I need you guys' help. Throw in the chat some trade debates, like give me some trade options with how would y'all put it together? You know what I mean? And Hugh Jazz is right about that. If he what it, but I don't want that to happen. But if it do happen, that's a lot. It's a lot riding on post. It's a lot. We asking him for, and we need to make sure he got sufficient help. because sufficient help is more important than try to make one player do everything in a team situation. The natural way it works is with a team, so you don't want to put too much on one player anyway. So you gotta be, mindful of that. Um, but he's a good player, and he's pretty consistent player. So you know, expensive though. BG says so. Rather Simmons shooting breaks than to have Dame time you wildin'. No, I ain't say that. See, that's you stirring the pot. What I am saying is he gotta play. You know, he gotta play. If they just do a swap between Dame Lillard and Ben Simmons, that's easy. But it ain't that simple. You know what I mean? It ain't that simple. You know, it depends. You got to keep Mikal Bridges, Cam Thomas. No, you got to keep Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Nick Claxton. If those three players are off the table, I think they negotiate and they do business. I don't know how sure. I know that the priority is rebounding. You need nastiness and grittiness. And getting Dame Lillard doesn't check those boxes. So regardless of how good Dame Lillard is, the necessary things for the Brooklyn Nets to win is nastiness, grittiness, getting rebounding, and defense. Those are the first two things, and Dame Lillard doesn't specialize in defense and rebounding. So as great as he doesn't meet the criteria to what the Brooklyn Nets are looking for. So I asked Nets fans, us being hesitant, why you feel wrong about that? We should be addressing what we need first, and that's rebounding and defense. So Mikal Bridges, again, I reiterate, is right for wanting Cam Johnson to be on the team. But for Dame Lillard to be on the team, I don't know, man. I say take that slow. You know what I'm saying? Take that slow. So okay, Dame Lillard. Um, let's see his playoff record. Let's see his playoff record. How many games he actually won? Like, what did he actually do in the playoffs? I know he hit that shot over Paul George, and Paul George said he was lucky. I know I heard that. I know he's competitive, but I want to know. And I made that is a good point about Drew Holiday and being going to Milwaukee and him helping them do that. Good, get over the hump. But Dame Lillard playoff record is 22-39. 22-39. You know. So that being said, I feel like we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Uh, Now Nick Clax, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges. That's established. Dame Lillard, and whether he's on the team, we hold back on that right now and address it later. Unless I got some guys to, go back and forth with me and y'all want to discuss it. Not Barry though, because Barry is not really a Nets fan. He's a KD fan. So they ain't gonna be a Nets watch. Remember I told you. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the front office pushed back. They don't want to give the stars on their team all the leverage about who should be on the team, regardless if they're friends or not. They just seen it go wrong with KD and Kyrie. It's no way that they make that same mistake again. Yes, to Cam Johnson, slow it down with Dame Lillard, right? It don't matter if they best friends. It don't matter if they best friends. They want Dame for what? For what? They want Dame for what? And what we get back? We just get back one player? What about that draft pick? Huh? What about that draft pick? What we get back? Exactly. Like I said, slow it down. Do not try to rush and get Dame Lillard. Nah, it's not that serious. We got those three players. We build around those three players. That's what we do. We stay focused on that, and we don't trip. All we gotta do is focus on the players that we should build around those three players. And if we keeping it about priorities, and we gonna get rebounding, who did we get rebounded from? A draft pick or one of the players that we mentioned earlier? Do we get Naz Reid, Thomas Bryant, who's on Denver in the finals but not getting no rec? You got Jokic in front of him, Gordon in front of him. You know, for some reason or another, they're not giving him minutes. If they're not giving him minutes, fine. Don't give him minutes. We'll let him be on our team. Thomas Bryant used to play for the Lakers. He used to play for the Washington, you know, Washington Wizards. So, yeah, do it. Word, do it. Shout out to Mike Breen. They say he's set to call his 18th NBA Finals. Wow, that's an accomplishment for real. Bang, bang. In the corner, bang for three. Ah, yo, it's honor. It's honor. Um. Okay, so Barry's BG said Simmons, Cam Thomas, Spencer, and picks for Dame. Trust he gonna be next. Nah. You was right about Phoenix, BG. Shout out to BG. I go, he's a fan that always got some trade predictions, and he was right about Phoenix because it happened. So I gotta give credit to what he say as a fan. I just don't want it to happen. I don't want to trade Cam Thomas. And I want us to keep our picks because teams using their draft picks and they winning. Miami using drafted players and undrafted players and they winning. Jimmy Butler is the only one not drafted by Miami. All the other ones is drafted and undrafted. And that's because of the culture that they're building. They built that culture because the GM think like a coach. Pat Riley, one of the best. They played them all night. I'm watching that game. I want to see how it's done. I'm a student of the game. I see, the pick and roll, the back pick and slip, handoff, pick and pop, Is Spo gonna put Jimmy Butler on Murray, you know what I mean? Stifle him, you know what I mean? Put ball denial on Murray, make the primary ball handler Jokic, and put him on an island where nobody can help him. Score as many points as you want to score. Time the other team gotta score, they gonna be cold. Well, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a chess match between Spo and Mike Malone. I think that's the culture for the Denver Nuggets. I don't know. You're gonna see, man. Hold on. BG said, bro, Cam Thomas unfollowing the Nets. You want out? Damn. I just want to say, if that's true, Cam Thomas, I'm still a fan, and I'm gonna watch your career. I want to see what happens when you get minutes, which leads me to my next conversation. Just because a draft pick isn't 1 through 5 in the first round, or 5 through 10, or a high draft pick, doesn't mean, i.e., Cam Thomas, they don't deserve the minutes. Now, of course, they have to fit into the new system because it's a different style of play from college to the NBA. The college and coach was doing one thing with that said player, Cam Thomas, making him the man. He was the leader of scoring in college in his rookie season. He left for the drafts the same season. And he went in the first round. He's a player that if a coach makes him instrumental on the offensive side of the ball, we can win games, especially because we could score a bunch in the first quarter. And a lot of times, me watching the NBA, the teams that go up big in the first quarter usually wins those games. And a player like Cam Thomas could do that for you. Cam Thomas is going to play in this league. I don't watch. I don't know what team he's going to play for. I give you that, Barry. Hopefully he play for the Brooklyn Nets. But yeah, I wish he started at 2 guard. Spencer at 1, Cam Johnson at 4, Mikal Bridges at 3, Nick Claxton at 5, and Royce O'Neal, keep, yes or no? Yes. Seth Curry, nah. Watanabe, maybe. And I like Seth Curry, but I'd rather keep Ed Sumner because of his defense. I feel like Seth Curry, he get himself involved. He is spark plug off of the bench. He scored, but he get in foul trouble. I like what Ed Sumner brought to the Brooklyn Nets. I wish Ed Sumner. These are the players I would keep. Joe Harris, I'll find a way to move off of Joe Harris. Shout out to the pull up. Shout out to the pull up, man. That's one of my favorite shows. I always be on this show. I was on there last night. I was on there the night before that, man. We was chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? It was fire. I was saying about Cam. I'll be everywhere talking about Cam Thomas, man. I swear. Shout out to Cam Thomas, man. Again, man, I think he could be instrumental in the offense just because, he could play on the elbow and he could create his own offense by putting the ball on the floor if the coach runs sets for him. Back picks, pick and rolls with Nick Claxton, pick and rolls with Day'Ron Sharpe, or just pick and rolls with even Mikal Bridges, find a way to have Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas on the floor at the same time. I think it'll go well. I've seen the chemistry between Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. We need more chemistry. You know what I'm saying? We need more chemistry for sure, man. Shout out to the pull up. I'm gonna throw the link in the chat just cause, you know what I'm saying? Yo, check out his y'all gotta check out the pull up, man. I'll be over there, man. They be having some good content over there. Be chopping it up. Be him, his guy Bruce. I forget everybody's name, but I remember them too for sure. It'd be the pull up BJ and his guy Bruce, man. Bruce is funny, man. Shout out to his co-host too, man. The pull up podcast is fire, man. He be pulling up wild pictures. Yeah, man, I like that show, man. Shout out to the pull up. But yeah, man, that's I think what's next for the Nets, man. You know what I mean? That's what I think that's what's next for the Nets. I really feel like we gonna be able to take our time and keep the players we want to keep and let go of the players that we don't want to keep. And we gotta keep these teammates together for longer than one season, man. We have to. So you got to keep Clax, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges together. I feel like keep Cam Thomas together. You could keep Spence, whatever. Whatever. You know what I mean? Dame Lillard, that whole situation, I'm shying away from it. I'm falling back. I don't want it to go too fast. Slow it down. Let's talk about it. I'm not just rushing to it. That's what I'm trying to say. Royce O'Neal, keep him. I think he's good off of the bench, and he could play. He could start, but he's not a scoring threat. Don't give him a lot of shot attempts. He's a 3-and-D player. Shouldn't be taking no more than 6-7 shots a game. That's my opinion. Shout out to the pub. Yeah, man. Please hit that like button, man. For real, man. Hit that like button for real. Yeah, and also hold on. Boxface says Kim Thomas is trash, bro. Oh well, gotta let him go. He's one dimensional. What? Yo, the pull out. What happened?
What up? What up, Brooklyn? What's good, man?
Chilling,
What's
man.
good?
Chilling, man. Hold on. Boxface said Cam Thomas. Nah, man. Listen, again, those coaches that was coaching and trying, and I'm complaining about the sets he didn't get in. Those were Nash coaches. They fired Nash, but kept the staff that he brought aboard. So now that they're gone and we got Jay Hernandez, Jay Hernandez is part of the player development. He had player development. He's known for that. Like around the league, if you at Brown and Water Cooler and they talking about player development, you might hear his name. That's how known he is. So we was able to let go our assistant coach in Royale Ivy because of Jay Hernandez and Chuck Vaughn's relationship in Orlando. So that being said, they develop players like Vucevic. Vucevic is one of the players that was on Orlando at the time. So yeah, man, stop it, man. He not one dimensional. He plays some defense. He ain't the best. He ain't a two-way player as of yet, but he's definitely and I'll give you credit to say he's a better scorer than he is a defender. But nah, he not trash on defense. Nah, not at all, man. What up though? To pull up, man. What's going on, Brody?
What's good, brother? So I want to ask you because the Nets, of course, are your team. I personally, so you feel like the Nets should work on their development more than trying to get um, stars? You think they just should develop what they got right now? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, because I think that when you think about the championship teams, the realistic window, you know what I'm saying, it'd be about 7, 8 years. I think we tried to microwave it with Katie and Kyrie, and we did well until we minus all of the core we had and added a superstar and Harden. So we minus our core for a superstar. And what I'm saying is that's not the same as Toronto, where they did not minus their card. They traded superstar for superstar, or not superstar for superstar. Kawhi, they traded DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. So that's not necessarily superstar for superstar, but it's not this. But you're not trading your core neither. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So again, I just feel like focus on the draft picks. You look at the winning teams, Jamal Murray, he's a draft pick. Jokic, a draft pick. You look at Miami, all of those guys are drafted and undrafted. And the only player is Jimmy Butler that wasn't drafted by the Miami Heat. That's significant to winning like that. Like, yeah, Denver got pieces that are signings in the free agency, but the main players are their draft picks. And I don't think that the Brooklyn Nets could avoid that winning formula. You can't cheat the winning formula no matter the team that you are. LeBron did it, I think,
right, right.
you know what I'm saying? But that's rare that happens. For the most part, it's because of he's an exception to the rule. For the most part, it's because of the draft pick teams are successful. And again, to your question, it's all about the window that the team has for the players. And I think that you get a bigger window with the draft picks. I think they didn't get the bag yet. And as we could see, i.e. Ben Simmons, players play harder when they want to get the bag. After they get the bag, they're not guaranteed to play hard. No disrespect. But, I look at it like that, like before they get the bag, they giving it all they got, blood, sweat, tears. You know what I'm saying? They doing all they got, and then sometimes there's a sag off in production and play once they get the bag. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody, but then you got Spencer Dinwiddie. He in the interview he said, "Yo, I ain't never said Kyle Kuzma was trash. I said his priority wasn't in order. He cares about fashion and this and that more than he care about the game." And then you got Gilbert Arenas also talking about how the players don't love the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying. I was trying to say to Big Tone the other day when he was on your podcast that that's the difference is the social media. They checking their tweets at halftime. They so involved about what people think about them. Nah, they think you trash if you play like trash. You knew that when you played without social media in the 80s or the 90s. You know what I'm saying? or prior to social media, and now I just feel like sometimes they could get engulfed in it, and they play like it. You know what I mean? So, I just tend to think sometimes they play it harder back in the before social media. Now it's sometimes people, they just caught up in their lifestyle. They look at it like I'm winning in life. I might have scored 2 points and I was 2 for 10, and my fans don't like me, but my mama love me. I'm winning in life. So I like to see teams and players compete at high level at all times, and I just think social media interferes with that sometimes.
Right, right. I think this is what I think too. Like, cause I'm with you all the way. Y'all core, like I said, I like Cam Thomas. He's only in his about to go in his third year. I like his competitive drive. I think he just need an opportunity. Mikal Bridges is showing he's a two-way player, so he's surprising a lot of people. And then you got Claxton in the middle. The league is getting younger and younger as it is. So what y'all have is, I think y'all should keep that young core, like you said, with Dinwiddie. It's like kind of whatever because I think he's 30, so he can still be there.
Yeah.
But I think y'all need to focus on what's the next 3 to 5 seasons, and that's what y'all have with Thomas, Bridges, and Claxton. So I'm with you all the way. So I like the competitive to see where it can land, bro. Like compete with that core, probably get some other pieces around, and see what y'all can do. I mean, y'all made the playoffs this year. You know what I mean? So it's not like y'all made it as a 6 seed. So y'all got promise on y'all squad. It's about the 3 to 5 seasons coming up, and also this is another question. You bring in Brooklyn. What's buzz on the Nets, bro? Like, how do y'all get that more and more? I'm not gonna say y'all gonna be on the Knicks, but how do y'all get that market to grow where it's sort of kind of like the buzz with KD and Kyrie and James Harden? Is it just about more so winning, or is it about better marketing, better ownership with Joe Tsai and Sean Marks? Like, what's the formula in your opinion?
The formula to me, I think more is building a culture, just letting the fans know that they care. You care about what the fans think. You know what I'm saying? Care about what the fans keeping certain players. Building the culture. And you only doing that by having the teammates play together for a long time. The Utah Jazz, they had Stockton and Malone for years, and they never won a championship. But you knew that was the team. I think there's a lot of players staying and leaving and coming to the Brooklyn Nets, and it's hard for the fans to build a culture around, players that keep leaving and coming and going. Of course, you're going to be a fan of the team, but let's keep it real. There are some fans that are just fans of players. You know what I mean? And it's hard to be a fan of a player if you always see them leaving. And I think, to build a culture going forward, to kind of answer your question, a fan like me want to see a player get drafted and be successful here. I think that's one of the glories that as a fan that we have, is seeing that the team draft a player and he plays well enough to and wants to play here. He's drafted here, and it's his dream come true, right? I imagine to be drafted to come to the NBA, and he plays here, he plays well here. He even think about retiring here. He win a championship here. You know what I'm saying? And just all around successful, kind of like Wade with Miami. You understand what I'm saying? Or even a Giannis with Milwaukee. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's staying, but again, my point is just coming, getting drafted here, winning here, and hopefully retiring here. Even if they don't retire here, like a Wade didn't, you know what I'm saying? Left the team. Did he come back and retire? Or am I bugging? Did Wade come back and retire?
Yeah, he came back his last year. I
He
think it was
came
in
back as okay.
2020. Was it 2018? Yeah, I think it was
20,
2018.
right. I heard Kyle Lowry say he's gonna do the same thing with Toronto.
Yeah,
So
he
so
rose in
even
Chicago.
T-Row, same thing. Yep. So same thing. Even if it's some kind of swan song at the end of it, yeah, I want to see us be successful from the front office, because I feel like that's part of the formula. It happened with Golden State. It happened with Milwaukee. It happened with all of the other teams that ain't LeBron team for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, shit. So there's countless examples of teams being successful because of the draft. and I don't think it excludes the Brooklyn Nets. I think we gotta, you know what I mean, be, obvious and try to do our best, especially with the CBA making it to where you can't even have the max players on your team at one time. So, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
the league is changing, and you know how it go. You got to change with it if you're gonna be one of the more competitive teams in the NBA. So I feel like and I'm asking you this question. I think the window for the Brooklyn Nets to win it is different because KD and Kyrie is not here, so the expectations are a little different. And instead of us winning it this season, we got swept, which was not cool at all. I'm still tight about it, but I think it gives us a new window. It kind of widens the window for us to win it. And I could say that we a playoff team. We went to the playoff 5 teams in a row. And I think we go to the playoffs next season. But I don't know if it's too early to say that we contend. I don't know if we contend with this team. But I do think we're a playoff team. And now I'm asking you, going forward, what is the window before y'all change Paul George and Kawhi Leonard? Do y'all need to see something happen this season before y'all make a move, or in this off season, y'all make a move before the season start?
So I've been up and down with this. So our whole thing is just being healthy, man. That's just unfortunately nobody really seen before. Like, not just the role players, but the stars are the ones getting hurt. It's not the guys who are like the third or fourth, best players. It's our best players getting hurt. So for that to happen the way it happened this year, Paul George to go down like 3 weeks before the season's over, and then you got Kawhi, what I'm saying, goes down in the second game where he's like playing out of his mind. He gets reported, not while he's playing, but when he's actually, before game 3, you get a report that, Kawhi Leonard out for game 3 with a knee sprain, and it turns out to be a torn meniscus. Those type of things, bro, like really make you be like, damn, like when is it going to all come together, right? But just because of the greatness of Kawhi when he is playing on the court and Paul George when they are on the court, is one of those things that you just have to roll with it. And you ask me how long? I mean, really, I definitely this year, because at some point the injury bug gonna have to let up. At some point, they're gonna have it where both these guys are gonna be playing. So, it's kind of like the whole light under the tunnel, or it can't rain all day analogy. That's how I kind of look at the situation. We got the new arena coming in Inglewood in 24, 25. So I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me about that. Talk to me again, because right now it would be the same as the Brooklyn Nets playing in Madison Square Garden. That shit would be a crazy type of energy. That's not happening. We play home at the Barclays, and they got the Garden respectfully. So talk to me about what it would be as a fan to see y'all playing your own home arena. Talk to me about that.
I mean, it's kind of like, bro, with the Barclays, I mean, you can probably attest to this, but it's a culture thing, right? It's about building your own culture. We're never going to be able to build a culture in someone else's house. It's no different from like from man to man. Like you feel different being in your own house than somebody else's house.
Respectfully,
that's just you as a man in general, right? So that's how the Clippers are with the Lakers. They're like we're been renting from them for like over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want your own crib. So now to get our own crib I think that's what's going to change the dynamic of the Clippers. They're going to be able to, have that arena. It's $1 billion arena. It's supposed to be state of the art, one of the best arenas in the league. Steve Ballmer's pockets are deep. So I think it's needed. It's required, bro. Like every team should have their own arena. At the end of the day. So the fact that y'all got Barclays, I think that's a big step towards the right direction, because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't feel right playing with Madison Square Garden with all the Knicks fans.
That shit too wild. Yo, I do a podcast called KVN Who Run in the City, the podcast. And, that's on Saturdays at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? You're more than welcome to pull up.
Word up. Yeah.
Listen, man, if it's called Knicks versus Nets, Who Run the City. The fact that we would have played in the Garden, I would like it's hard to get over that. You know what I'm saying? No matter what we do, the fact that we played it and they're the ones that were there first, it's just a rough act. You know what I mean? So I'm glad we don't play there. I'm glad we got a place to call home. You know, the Barclays. And I think the Brooklyn Nets stay here. When I check the history between, where the Nets played and how long did they play there, we had a rough go at it. You know what I'm saying? The first few seasons, first few like 10, 20 years, it was like we was going from different places. And I think we had one stretch, we was at the Izod Center, and I think we were at is it the Prudential? I forget exactly where, and I forget the name of it. But we were there for like majority, I think like 30 years, and we've been in Brooklyn for like 10 years. I think we gonna be here for like another 30 years. I think out of all of the places that we stay, I think we stay here. I think this is the place that we stay. We're going to continue to stay in Brooklyn. And yeah, I
All
think
right.
we'll be here forever. You know, the same way that the Knicks are going to stay at the Garden, the same way that the Boston Celtics stay at the TD Garden. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Same way that and I ain't going to lie, I was surprised that the Lakers turned it to crypto, to turn the Staples to crypto. I thought it was just
Yeah.
always going to be called the Staples.
Right. Right. And see, and that's the thing, bro. Like I've been Staples so many times. It don't feel the same. Like it's not the
Okay.
Kobe and Shaq Lakers, bro. Like it's not this Kobe Pau Gasol Lakers. Magic and Showtime. Was at the Forum in Inglewood, which is where the Clippers about to be at, which is ironic, but they don't have the same feel as Staples. Like everyone walking there is like, damn, this is a whole new generation, bro. So it definitely the history's taken out of that. I want to ask you this question too.
Yeah.
What So the Knicks and the Nets, you said they go at it. Who runs the run the
Yeah.
city?
That's a podcast we got
Yeah,
on Saturdays. Yeah.
yeah. Like the Lakers and Clippers are kind of the same thing, but of course the Lakers with the history, it's always gonna be a Laker town. Which is cool. Kobe is one of my favorite players, so I never even budged about that. That's just what it is. But I don't know. It's like this weird rivalry with the Clippers and Lakers when I look at it more like it should be a big brother, little brother thing where if the Clippers are succeeding and playing well, like Laker fans for the most part don't want to see them win. Do y'all get that same Knicks and Nets thing where if the Nets are doing well, then the Knicks are hating on the Nets? Like when KD and Kyrie came to the Nets, did you have like a lot of Knicks fans who didn't like that, or what y'all buzz about? You know what I'm saying? The whole Knicks and Nets rivalry.
The energy in the city is like, again, well, if you're asking me, I might, me, I stir the pot and all that. So, it might be just narrative based, but this is how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Before we started the podcast, it was a rivalry because this what the Knicks did to the Nets, and this is true history. They gave the Nets a hard time to play in Manhattan, and to so much so that we had to break up a championship team. We broke up an ABA championship team that had Dr. J on it, and that's how he got to the Philadelphia 76ers, because the Knicks declined taking the contract of Dr. J because it would negate our debt to become an NBA team, because we had to pay an entry fee. Had to pay an entry fee, and they tried to charge us some other extra shit. But case in point is the rivalry been on before the Nets even came to Brooklyn because of everything I said prior. Now, when we got to Brooklyn, yeah, I pushed it. I pushed the issue. Now, I'm like, yeah, we here because y'all was losing, stinking up the place. Now, not playing winning basketball, and we here to make things right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm kicking a wild dust about it. So the energy, I would say, I'm one of the catalysts of making the energy like it's up, it's intense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we had a barbecue last season, in the off season, because I'm talking my shit. I'm like, yo, we swept y'all. I mean, how much do y'all really gotta say? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, so like we can play in real life, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we had some one-on-ones. We doing it again on July 1st. Shout out to KV on Run the City, the podcast. This be the second annual I guess one-on-one 1v1 celebration, fan day, celebration, KBN podcast day and whatnot. And it was a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? So again, man, You know, the shit talking has led to people that I never met in real life. But again, we kept the culture cool because it's like cook culture is like you're able to articulate your debate, have your slick talk, but you ain't doing it with no disrespect. I ain't got a lot of, puns at you, no disrespectful slurs, no disrespectful, no
Mm,
suck this and suck that,
mm,
no, and I'm keeping it all basketball. So you understand the way I'm cooking you is it's not undercooked. I'm cooking you with a low medium fire, so that way I'm making sure it's done right. You know what I mean? I know how to cook. I don't need to overcook or I don't undercook or overcook. I cook the right way. So shout out to cook culture. That's all. Everybody know how to articulate debate without disrespecting nobody. Basically, that's what that is. So I was able to meet.
I'm gonna subscribe to Cook Culture. I'm gonna subscribe to the page, bro. I'm gonna follow that.
Yeah, nah, I appreciate you, man. We need more people like you who do the same thing, who know how to articulate their debate about basketball, keep it about basketball, and you know what I'm saying? Make it to where it's fun. You know what I mean? We just out here having fun talking basketball, man. That's what's going on right now. Shout out to Andre 76. I see you there. I just was, trying to answer the pull-up question.
Oh no, it's all good. Shout out to you. Shout
What's
out to
good, Bubba? What's good,
what's
bro?
good, bro? Hey, but
What's good?
first of all, Breeze, I need to say that I really appreciate how you actually do your research about the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Doing all your history about how they were in the ABA. Because funny enough, I was doing my own research about how the Sixers were able to get Dr. J, and it was kind of like it was pretty much robbery at that point. Because how do you
What?
get a caliber of talent of Dr. J's caliber, and you don't really give up a lot for him? You know what I'm saying? We ended up going to 4 championships. We won one. I was pissed that we lost to Magic Johnson in his rookie year, but at the
What
same
up, Big
time,
John?
he was able to get us one, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm grateful for you too for doing your research and um, giving us a platform to share our opinions as well.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, I appreciate you. It's likewise too. I realized I could get cooked out here by not knowing my shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys out here that know they basketball, and I don't want to be one of those guys that get made an example out of and then have to go do homework, and it's too late after that. I've already been cooked. You know what
Right.
I mean? So again, I run into a little shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the locker room. You know what I mean? He called himself cooking me because I called him a fanboy, but I did because I said, you don't have no content about the Lakers before LeBron. You know what I mean? And it kind of got quiet after that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little run-in I had where there was little others about him cooking me, but I don't play that shit. He did not cook me,
Yeah.
and that's based on the conversation of us having about the significance of coaching in basketball. I said that coaching was 40 to 45%. He said it was 15%. There's no way you cooking me saying that coaching is 15% in basketball. Coaching could decide who wins or loses in clutch situations. I'm talking 5 minutes left in the game. You need your coach to either step up or some, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I mean, and maybe he did cook me. Let's ask around, But
Nah,
he
he
says coaching is 15% and winning basketball. I mean, that's the obligation for winning for a coach and on a team sense. Do you agree with that pull up in Andre 76, or do y'all feel like it plays a bigger part? I said 40 to 45%, or maybe.
Yeah. Shout out to Unc, man, Miami Heat fan, bro. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you. Salute to
Yeah.
all the Eastern Conference. Yeah, before I answer the question, like me being on this panel, bro, I'm learning about y'all teams. Like you being in Brooklyn, the Nets, and my man Bubba with Philly, and then Unc in Miami, bro. Like I'm on the West, so I'm learning about these Eastern Conference teams. So just being up here, so I appreciate that. But to
So,
answer your question, bro, it's definitely 40, at least 40%, bro. Like
what?
take a team like Miami, who their culture is what it is, and then you got a coach like Spoelstra, you know what I'm saying, who's able to bring up, the best of his players. But I tell people this all the time. Based on how your team plays goes to how your best player is and your coach. If your coach is no nonsense, that means your team is no nonsense. If your coach is lackadaisical, that means your team is lackadaisical. If your coach is, you know what I'm saying, like, up and down transition type of guy, who likes to, get out and shoot and run threes, that means your team is going to mimic that. So coaching is definitely at least 40-45% of the game, bro. Hands down. Hands down.
Facts. That's what I was saying. So, what you said, Andre 76?
No, I was saying that's facts because my man BJ, he was a pro, so he actually knows what he's saying. It's not no 15%. Like, you really need a good coach to run plays and set you up and put you in positions to be successful. And you can't always rely on your superstars or best players to, just try to make something happen. Like, just put the ball in the superstars' hands and make something happen. Like, it's not always going to work out that way for you if that's what you're dependent on.
Oh yeah, nah. See, that's what I was saying. So that's why I was like, yo, I don't think he cooked me based on that. And, I know all of the buttons and all of that is cute and all of that, but based on just the conversation, bro, that's the discrepancy right then and there. We don't have to go any further. That's it. I've watched Steve Nash be in charge of a championship team, and KD and Kyrie, in my opinion, was disgruntled because of it. Maybe they didn't want Kenny Atkinson be the guy, but Steve Nash definitely wasn't the right choice for the Brooklyn Nets because he's in charge of a championship team, and that's hard to do. And again, it's hard to contrast that to Steve Kerr because Steve Kerr was assistant coach behind Coach Pop. You know what I'm saying? No, he was a player. Was he? Was Steve Kerr assistant coach to Coach Pop before he got that job with
Yeah, he was under him.
Yeah,
he came from that. He's one of his coaches.
So before he had a team that went on a championship run with the Golden State Warriors, he was under Coach Pop as assistant coach, and I give a lot of credit to assistant coach experience. Now, I don't know how much y'all talk about that, but I was trying to steer the conversation to that because I was saying about, like you said, about Spo, and shout out to Big Tone. You know what I mean? I'll be on Big Tone page too. Coach Spo started as a video coordinator, and what I learned is to be a head coach, the first job is a video coordinator, the second job is a player development coach. Now, another thing, Jimmy Butler the other day in a post game interview said, shout to Coach Riley. Now, I don't think that was a mistake. I think he meant to call Riley a coach because he still acts as if he's a coach. He maneuvers that type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I contribute a lot of the winning that Eric Spo is doing to the relationship he has with Pat Riley. You know what I mean? So that being said, I think they are a big reason on why that Miami culture is what that Miami culture is. Even them keeping Haslam on the bench, that's a culture thing. Otherwise, like, why is Haslam there? That's about culture. You know what I mean? You keep these guys that could get hot-headed with a level head. I seen Eric Spo and Jimmy Butler arguing in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So you get somebody like Haslam that can help in that type of situation. So, I think building the culture is important. And I think that Kerr don't get a lot of credit because they really wanted Mark Jackson to get that glory. But respectfully, Kerr had experience as an assistant coach under Coach Pop. And Steve Nash didn't, and that's why I disagree with the locker room about coaching, because I see what Steve Nash did to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Jacque Vaughn is somebody who does have assistant coach experience. So again, my question to you, the pull up is, how do you think the Clippers are doing with the player development department? How are they handling the draft picks that y'all get and get as far as minutes and opportunity?
I'm gonna be honest. Bro, so last year, I don't think Ty Lue did a very good job allowing our young guys to rock. Brandon Boston, Amir Coffey, Moussa Diabate, Xavier Moon, like, those are young guns. Those are young guys. But then I kind of understand why they didn't really play because, our team is so, quote unquote, so deep. So when you got, a roster 1 to 10 that can play on any team and be like either a starter or an important role player, it's kind of tough to really have your guys get a chance to play. Now, as far as development goes, like as far as, them being ready, I think we have one of the best development teams in the league because, these guys are, when they do get a chance to play and they get the opportunity, they ball out. It's just the problem is that we have so many guys that, deserve to play on the team. It's almost as if we need to give some players away, like Marcus Morris, Eric Gordon, Mason Plumlee. Like, those guys can be valuable to other teams,
Yeah, no,
So
y'all funny as hell. Y'all always talk about trading Marcus Morris. All right, so what
yeah,
happened with Marcus Morris, man? Y'all don't like him
Mook,
no more? What's going
Mook,
on?
Mook is having a down year, bro. Like last year, he was great for us. You know, when Kawhi and PG were out, him and Reggie carried us, bro. But since last year, he just I don't know because of his pops passing away or what.
Right.
His mind ain't there, man. He just been,
No, no, it's the same
I
thing that
think he
happened
kind of
with us.
checked out.
Yeah, that happened
yeah,
with us. Because, his twin played for the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
right,
He
right. So
mentally checked out after that. That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Marcus Morris checked out this year, bro. Honestly, because I'm like this dude was carrying us last year with Reggie. So I kind of took a little bit backseat of criticizing him, but I mean he just we got too many guys that can really play, so we have to kind of let some of them guys go and let our young guys play to give Kawhi and PG more of an opportunity not to have to exert their energy. That's
Okay.
what we're gonna have to do this year.
All right.
Yeah, that's a
So
great
let me
point.
ask you,
That's a
do
great
y'all
point.
miss Luke Kennard?
Nah. I mean, I miss him. Like this is how I look at Kennard, bro. So he's a specialty piece. So you put him in, what I'm saying, to like
Or the
shoot
younger?
threes, and that's it. But he's
Okay.
not. He's not somebody that moves the needle. We got enough shooters and scorers on our team where, what I'm saying, like Luke Kennard is really a specialty. So yeah, you miss because what he brought to the team, but he doesn't kill our team. You know what
So
I mean?
so let's get to the nitty gritty. Y'all want to move off Ty Lue?
Oh my gosh, bro. Bubba, how many times did I roast Ty Lue on my podcast this year?
Multiple times, bro.
Bruh, I have a hate and love relationship with dude, bruh.
So what about
Uh,
Monty Williams? He out there floating around like
I like Monty, bruh. I like Monty a lot. But I want Ty Lue to stay, bro. I just want him to get his shit together, bro. I want him to coach how I know he can coach because I think this year he just underperformed as a coach, and we just lost a lot of games with his rotations, his lineups, and not really being focused on putting the right guys in. That's the thing I hate the most. Don't put the guys that you like. Put the guys that's gonna help us win, bro.
Facts. That's what he did with Reggie Jackson, and he was underperforming for most of the season. And when he benched
Yeah,
him, the team was kind of playing good.
yeah. Reggie and Marcus Morris. That's why I kind of want Marcus Morris gone, bro, to save Ty Lue from himself. Because I know they tight, so you gonna play your friends over the ones that should be playing.
oh, okay. So let me ask you. That sounds like a yes.
Nah, it's either Marcus Morris or Ty Lue. One of them gotta go. I'm gonna say either one of them gotta go. It's either Mook or Ty Lue. They can't be on the same team next year. Now, not with the Clippers.
I hear you.
It's over, bro.
Nah, I hear you. I hear you. But I realize too is that coaches, as far as offensive sets, they do a lot, man. And assistant coaches do a lot with what you think that it's like the head coach responsibility oversees the assistant coach. And sometimes it gotta be that where you get new assistant coaches too. I don't know, man. I heard BJ just say that. Andre just say that. BJ, you play basketball professionally.
Yeah, I played overseas in Asia, bro, and I played semi-pro college in high school. Yeah, so yeah.
All right, walk me through that, and based on what Cam Thomas said in the press conference, I heard Cam Thomas in the press conference say it's everything when the coach believes in you. So just walk me through that mindset. You know what I'm saying about as a player, what that means on a professional level.
Oh man, so basketball is like a teaching. It's like a tool that you use for life, bro. So it is a confidence booster because with the NBA being so political, like one of my homies told me this. He said the higher you get in the field of basketball from high school, college, and all that, is the more political it gets. So it's not all about who's the best player.
Wow.
So you gotta have a coach that truly believes in you and truly wants you to succeed. Because us as players, we put a lot of time in this in our craft, just like you put in time in your podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you see people actually tune in and comment and say, "Bro, keep going," and they believe in you and they show love. They so to your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like that means something. It's the same thing from a coach. If you got a coach that says, "Look, you're
Reassurance.
you're you're our guy. You're our man. Well, we want you to be the star of this team." And you see the potential, that means everything because all you're looking for is one shot. Like the NBA is hard enough to get in as it is, bro. Even if you are talented, even if you are, there's a lot of niggas in the league that really, obviously, there's a guy that you probably know in your hood or your city who should be in the league just didn't get that opportunity.
No,
So,
absolutely.
so if you go like to a coach like and they want you to be that guy, that means everything, bro. That means you're gonna play a little harder. That means that ball rolling out of bounds, you're gonna probably dive for that ball for that coach. You're gonna run through the wall for that coach because he gave you a shot that many people wouldn't have given you. Like a player's coach, that's a real thing, man. But
Word.
if you don't like this coach like DeAndre Ayton and Monty Williams, bro, like
Okay, you see it there.
yeah, bro. It's like you don't have the same belief and the same trust in your coach, bro. You're gonna see it in they play. Like
Right.
look at the Miami Heat, you can tell they love Coach Spoelstra, bro. Even though they get into like the fights and arguments, like Jimmy loves Coach Spo. They love each other because they hold each other accountable. They know they can run through a brick wall. A team like I don't want to put you out there, but a team like the Sixers,
So,
like they didn't really believe in Doc Rivers.
That's
They
facts.
didn't they didn't bring out the best, and like that it just goes to show you like it just sees who's on the same page from a coach who has guys like all over the place.
Right.
so can I ask you this, BJ? What about the relationships that players may build with assistant coaches? Is that a real thing, or they just try to get in good with the head coaches? How does that work?
uh yeah, bro, that's a real thing too. Like I use that analogy. Like I don't know if y'all good with y'all grandparents. Like y'all know y'all grandparents.
Yep.
No, not really.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you an example. Both probably knows what I'm talking about. Like your mom and your pops, whatever you had growing up, they might tell you, hey, no, you can't have that. But then you got grandma and grandpa who be like, sneak up and give you something that your parents said that you might. And that's how I look at the whole assistant head coach. Sometimes the head coach got so much shit they dealing with that assistant coach might be there to pull you to the side and say, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Just stay locked in, stay good, stay motivated, stay committed to the process. You're gonna be good. Like I had that actually happen to me when I was playing semi-pro. Like
I'm listening,
me
bro.
me and the head coach didn't get along. And you're gonna have that sometimes with the player, coaches, they don't get along. But then I had this dude who was the assistant coach, me and him were tight. So when I felt like no longer playing for the team because I was like, butting heads with the coach so much, he's the reason why I chose to, finish the season off. So a lot of that, the assistant coach love, like also bringing you to the side. That's a real thing. It's all like a real community thing, bro. Like everyone needs each other, like based off your personality, what you do, how you mesh with somebody, like all that makes a difference, bro. So yeah, that means something. That's probably what Cam Thomas needs.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. I had got an interview with Gilbert Arenas, FYF Sports. I had jumped on his stream and he had Gilbert Arenas on there, and he said the same thing about Cam Thomas. He said, "Yo, I seen Cam Thomas work out. I think he should be playing in the NBA." He said before he got drafted in that summer league, I seen him work out with his mom's in the morning, like. When he get a chance, an opportunity, he'll get the minutes. Maybe it's something between him and the coach. I don't want to believe it. I want both of them to be on the same page going forward. Cam Thomas is serious about his NBA career. He left the draft his rookie season. He broke Shaq record in LSU for scoring 20 points. He scored 20 points more than Shaq did when he was in college. He broke Shaq record as a guard. He's a bro.
Right.
He's a bucket. He could score at any given time, bro. It's just, I don't know if the Brooklyn Nets gonna get the opportunity, and I'm shy to say that we gonna keep him. I think, I think the worst. I think we're gonna have to trade, not the worst, but I think that the Brooklyn he won't stay with the Brooklyn Nets. I think he's gonna go somewhere else, and I think he's gonna be successful wherever he go, which hurts even more because we've seen it with Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, we've seen it with Kenny Atkinson, we've seen it time and time again. When are we gonna learn and keep these players from the draft? The
Right.
teams a lot of my conversation is because of the draft and because of Cam Thomas and seeing teams be successful from the draft and just trying to take that page and use it in the Brooklyn Nets page. You know what I mean? In our book, put it in our book like, yo, this is part of the winning formula. You know what I mean? I did my fan homework. You know what I mean? So hopefully they hear these streams, man. I wonder if they hear us sometime, man. I do, man. But I don't think you could cheat the formula. It gotta have the draft being attentive to the draft and getting the talent from there. Because look at Rudy Gobert and Walker Kessler. Minnesota could have kept Walker Kessler for all that. You know what I mean? Look at everything they traded to get Rudy Gobert. They ain't have to do that. Pay attention to the draft. See, some of these players are NBA ready. You gotta have guys that's ready to scout. Make sure your scouting team is proper. Those guys should get sent of some flowers. The guys that get, you know what I mean, the talent to come to the team, the actual guys that select the draft pick, those guys should be looked at and being put heavy emphasis in that department. You know what I'm saying? Heavy focus on what they do. You know what I mean? Don't just use these guys as trade pieces or trade bait. Actually develop the talent and with the both of the teams that's in the finals having these draft pick situations where Murray is the highest at the 7th pick, round 1, and Jokic being a 2nd round draft pick, and all of these undrafted players for Miami.
Yeah.
I think going forward, the NBA need to focus on you know what I'm saying, focus on, again, the draft is only 60 players, bro. 2 rounds, 60 players. You got to focus on more than 60 players, man. Trying to develop this talent, especially if you're going to be developing them at 18, they coming out the league, going into the G League 18 and 19. Pay attention to that talent. I think that the league is going to start opening up.
But Breezy, I think that when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets, in my personal opinion, I think the Brooklyn Nets and the 76ers have one of the worst player developmental personnels in the NBA. Like, when's the last time you heard the Brooklyn Nets develop a talent, like a real talent that came from the Brooklyn Nets and became a great NBA player, had a great career winning championships and all that? Because when I look at other teams like Miami has that. Miami has that. Golden State have that. And other teams have. The Boston Celtics have that. But when I look at the Brooklyn Nets, it's just like, I don't really see that really happen with y'all. And the 76ers as well. I mean, you had Ben Simmons and you couldn't develop him. You couldn't really develop into a great player. And some of it had to do with Ben Simmons' mental approach to the game. But I feel like a lot of players came through us that we really failed to develop, like Jahlil Okafor, like other players as Markelle Fultz. Like, we just pretty much gave up on Markelle Fultz, and he's actually balling in Orlando right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was trying to tease you. But for real though, you got to stay with these players. Dallas, they had Dirk Nowitzki for 11 seasons. Milwaukee, they had Giannis and Middleton for like 7-8 seasons. Golden State, it took like 5 seasons before they won something. The only fastest that ever happened was Duncan, where he came to the team and they was kind of already built. In this rookie season, they had a 34-game win increase, and in his second season, they won a championship. Like, that's the fastest it's ever been done. You know what I'm saying? Right. But for the most part, you gotta build from the draft, and the window gotta be realistic. It gotta be bigger than 2-3 years. I think if you want to be a contender in this league, you gotta give yourself a good 4 or 5 season window. And have your 2 stars on your team. You'll build with 2 players on your team. I would say, or more, or for more than 2 seasons. Give it a good gander. Give it a good 3, 4, 5 seasons. I don't think you should look off your superstars for the first 2-3 seasons. God say give them more time. Stockton them alone. I'm gonna check and see how many games they played together. It might be a record as far as attempted. You know, they never won the actual NBA championship, but they were competitive a lot of those seasons, bro.
Right.
You know, and I think that's kind of significant to building chemistry. You know,
Yeah, and they played from 85 to 2003.
to see that's that's been teammates for a long time. So let me
Right.
ask you, do you see Embiid and Maxey playing for a long time on the same team?
Embiid and Maxey. As far as Embiid, I mean, I don't really think Embiid's gonna be in Philly for long. I feel like they gonna eventually trade him. I don't see him finishing his career with the 76ers. But Maxey, I can see Maxey playing a long time there. I was hearing that they probably want to give him a $200 million contract, which I think it's well deserved for him, a player of his caliber now. I want the Sixers to get a lead guard because Maxey ain't
Yo,
really a
hold
point
on,
guard.
slow it down, bro. You
All right,
said
my
a
fault.
lot right
My
there. You
fault. My
saying
fault.
that
My fault.
you don't think that Embiid gonna stay with the 76ers? All right, so what you think? What you think?
Yeah, I think eventually he's gonna end up leaving. He's gonna end up requesting a trade to a better team because the Sixers, like, keep in mind, the Sixers don't really. I mean, the Sixers haven't really put a real talent for Embiid. Like now, he's been getting hurt, which is I think Embiid needs to. He's 280. I think he needs to get his weight down a little bit to 260 because most of his injuries, like coming, like all that weight coming down on that knees and legs, like that's a lot of injuries on those tendons and ligaments and shit like that. So I feel like he needs to bring his weight down a little bit, and which can help him stay healthy for the most part in the postseason. Because always getting hurt in the postseason, I mean that ain't no good. But yeah,
Hey,
eventually,
Beezy,
yeah,
can I tell Bubba something real quick?
yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, I'm listening. We listening.
Hey, you know what I think it is, bro? Like Embiid, man, it's I'll be like looking at Embiid, bro. Like this dude should be the best player in the NBA. You know what I think it is, Bubba? I think it's one, his playing style, how he plays too much like a guard instead of playing more 15, 18 feet out. He wants to, dribble from the perimeter and shoot them threes. I think he can add more life to his NBA career if he starts playing more close to the basket, like Hakeem Olajuwon told him. And I think that he needs to stop with the antics with the flopping as far as fall on the floor. And I think that, yes, he needs to get in better shape. I do agree, his crew, his core around him hasn't always been great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Embiid can be better, bro. I really do.
Yeah,
He just got to commit
definitely.
himself, man.
Most
He
definitely.
got
And I think with us getting Nick Nurse, I think Nick Nurse is gonna make that adjustment because Nick Nurse always, whenever we played against the Raptors, he always found a way to kind of like slow him down. Like Embiid has had games where he had a donut against the Raptors, and I feel like Nick Nurse being the coach of that, he can actually know how to counter that and make Embiid even more effective and more better than what he is in his previous MVP seasons. So I mean I see a good year next year with Embiid as far as scoring and playing style, and I hope he can get in better shape than what he's been coming into the training camp with. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
Word.
Nah, I feel you. So again, all right. So what's the window? What's the window you give Embiid? You see him staying next season, or you think he out before the season starts?
Man, that's very tough because I mean he's under contract for the next 3 years. He signed that big deal in 2021. So I mean I can't really tell, man. It's a tricky situation with Embiid, but I mean I'd love to see him finish his career as a 76er, but I do think they might end up moving him, kind of like the Kevin Garnett thing.
Nah, I respect it. Yeah, what about you, BJ? You see Kawhi Leonard retiring with the Clippers?
Woo.
Tough.
I don't know. I don't know about next season. If he by the end of next season, I have a better idea. I do know he loves being in LA because his family's out here.
Mm-hmm.
But he gotta win. They gotta win the title, bro. They gotta get to the finals next year because Kawhi's on a 4-year deal, so next year is his last deal. They have a player option after that. So based off of him winning the title, then I end up think he's gonna stay. If they get another embarrassment, like not make it to the like make it to the finals or get hurt, I think he's gone.
All right, I respect that. Yo, cause you seen Katie and Kyrie after 4 seasons, they was out. So okay, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they play how many seasons together? How many seasons was it? 3? Is it 3 now? Paul George and Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah.
I think it's 3. What about see Harden be ready to dip all the time, man. Y'all have
he gone.
See what I'm saying? Harden be going. It's hard to be a teammate with Harden. He ready. He got no loyalty to nothing.
He gone. And I'm saying that because Nick Nurse is a defensive-minded coach, and I don't think James Harden is ready to buy into that.
That's real.
Yeah.
But I heard somebody say this to me too. He said, Embiid, it's always been his second stars that don't show up. So Ben Simmons and James Harden don't always show up for Embiid. So that's why he's giving them a pass. When you hear that, Bubba, what do you say to that?
I mean, that's true, but also Embiid doesn't show up as well. I mean, let's be real. And this season, Game 7, like where was he at? He went like what, 28% from 43% from 30-some% from the field in the elimination game. He didn't really show up. Now his teammates didn't show up as well, but you can't only put the blame on his teammates. And B got to get the blame as well.
Yeah, what up, Sports to the Wire? Yo, man, anytime you want to kick it, hit that stream, man. Yo, this is one of my favorite content creators. He do Nets content. Like, share, comment, subscribe to him. Like, share, comment to the pull-up as well. Shout out to Andre B, man. He everywhere. He know basketball. But yeah, man, shout out to you, Sports to the Wire, man. That's my, I always watch his videos. But yeah, I know. I just kind of wanted to get y'all are honest too, man, about just how long do y'all see the stars stand? Do y'all see other things happening? And I'm surprised I kind of got these answers, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, this is dope, man. Shit, what else I got? What I will say is I think Mikal Bridges is going to stay with us. I think Cam Johnson is going to stay with us. Hopefully we keep Nick Claxton. We find a way to keep Nick Claxton.
Shout out to Mikal Bridges, man. He's from
shout out to Mikal, bro. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. He gave us fits in the conference finals. So that's easy. That's one guy I think y'all can build around.
Yeah,
because his intangibles, his skills, I think he's growing and developing every year, bro. He seemed like he's a good teammate. And his durability, he's a good team. Like, he has all the right stuff, man, for you to build around him. So that was a big pickup.
Yeah, nah.
Really? Y'all won that trade with Phoenix, bro. Y'all won that trade.
Yeah, I'm just joining in here. I'm just joining in. What's the topic of discussion here, man?
Yo, we just talking about just the window of the superstars. You see how Katie and Kyrie, they left, and it's over with. That era of the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets is over with, and we going on to a new era with Mikal Bridges. And I was asking about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and if Kawhi Leonard is going to retire there. And it's a dope stream, man. Run it back, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We was asking them about Joel Embiid and Maxey. You see them staying together. He don't know if Embiid's staying there. But shout out to you, man. I've seen you been putting videos together about who we should get. You know what I mean? I was saying we should get Naz Reid. I was hoping to get Thomas Bryant. He's in Denver right now. He's not getting no rep. They're not giving him no minutes. He's behind Jokic and I think Gordon. That's who's taking his minutes. And and maybe Mo Bamba, he's not getting no minutes. I don't know, man. But what you think, Sports to the Wire? You how you like Thomas Bryant to the Brooklyn Nets? Yo, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I
gotta look up the stats, the numbers. I mean, anything that can, like I was saying on one of my shows, man, we need somebody that's like 6'10", 6'11", that's a big guy. Yeah, Thomas Bryant is good.
You like Thomas Bryant? Me too. I don't know. What about the 21st and 22nd pick? You know college ball. I'm actually getting familiar with college ball. I'm not that aware about it. What about you to pull up? You know what I mean? Let me ask the panel because I know you play professional ball, so I know you're kind of familiar with college basketball, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm asking.
I don't follow it that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you ask me what
No,
I think
I
Brooklyn,
didn't
I
play
would,
professionally. I played in tournaments.
Oh,
I
not
played
you,
in tournaments,
not you. Sports to the wire. The pull up,
men's leagues.
the pull up play professionally. I was asking the panel. I was asking all of y'all actually.
yeah, I think Brooklyn for
Okay.
me, Brooklyn needs more.
Oh, okay.
I think Brooklyn needs like nastiness on their team. If you want my honest opinion, I think that's what Brooklyn needs is like
What's
nastiness
going on,
in
man?
that post in that interior. So I think a player like y'all can use like a Nas Reed, a guy who has a motor, who has toughness, who can stretch and shoot the three. Um, I think y'all need a couple of like not so much too much young guys. I think y'all need some veteran leadership in there as well. Like guys like in their mid to late 20s, maybe a little early 30s.
Yeah.
So I would go after Nas Reed, bro, as one of y'all options. That'll be one of my suggestions.
Facts, facts. Now I'm with you. I'm with you. Sports to the wire. You like Nas Reed to the team? Just shout to Sports to the wire. But yeah, I agree. I definitely want to get.
Yeah. I like Nas Reed. He can actually handle the basketball. He,
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. Nas Reed. We agree on Nas Reed. That's good. That's good. Hopefully, Nas Reed is someone in Brooklyn Nets to look at.
oh, all right. No, there was a lot of echoing.
Okay.
But Breezy, I think the first move y'all need to make is get a point guard. That's the first move because the center spot. I mean, I think the center spot is solid because y'all got Nick Claxton who's developing. Hopefully, he gets a good enough reliable jump shot and can rebound the basketball better than he
Nick
did last
Claxton
season.
got to go, man.
Nick Claxton got to go. I don't know about that, bro.
Claxton gotta go. Who said that?
Yes,
Claxton.
sir, man. If we can get like Brooke Lopez, we can get somebody that can.
Okay, now all right. So we
Sports to the
gonna.
wire said it, baby.
All right, so okay, yeah, we gotta go at it, my guys. Now this is a little nest, it's a little nest dust up, you know what I mean? This is this happens sometimes. But talk to me, man. You said Brooke Lopez for Nick Claxton. Talk to me why. Sports to the wire.
Yeah, I just did a video on Nick Claxton and how there was an anonymous general manager talking about how they were.
I think he lagging.
Yeah, I think he got a lag. So I'm waiting for you.
How
You
they
say
were going to get rid of him.
okay.
Well, not get rid of him, but basically, like, if there's a better option that comes to the table.
Right, if it's a better than Nick Claxton. Okay, I'm listening.
I think he got to hop out and jump back in.
All right, so like guys like Brooke Lopez, Nas Reed, if you can get somebody like those two that can actually, I mean, you definitely move Nick Claxton.
All right. So for one, we don't have to move Nick Claxton to get Nas Reed. Nas Reed is on a contract where he's a free agent or unrestricted free agent, something like that. But again, we don't have to get rid of Nick Claxton for him. And also, he's a disgruntled player because he's seen Rudy Gobert, someone who didn't deserve to take minutes from Nas Reed, take minutes from Nas Reed. We do not have to fight for Nas Reed. I think Nas Reed is on the first thing out of there. I don't think he wants to play in Minnesota. It's cold. He probably don't know nobody out there, far from his friends and family. You know what I mean? Probably got to go to the gas station there to go to the store. You know what I mean? He don't probably even he probably not even from there. So I don't think it's gonna be difficult to get training Claxton. And I don't think that the Minnesota Timberwolves has the leverage over the Brooklyn Nets to get Nick Claxton for a Nas Reed. So no, I think we keep Nick Claxton and have Nas Reed to back Nick Claxton. That's how I look at it. So I don't necessarily
But
disagree with you,
big three, man.
yeah, for sure.
Nick Claxton, his offensive game is not really refined.
No, it's not. But I don't think that was his strong suit. I don't think we need to focus on his strong suit being the offense, having Cam Johnson create. He's going to be the force. So in that space, we'll have him creating offense. We don't need Nick Claxton to create more offense than he already creates off of the offensive rebounding, putbacks, and alley oops. I don't necessarily need him to do more, a lot more than that. You know, he could continue to do what he's doing, and I'm fine with that. You know, I think Mikal Bridges, and again, I would like to see a Cam Thomas, and if not a Cam Thomas, somebody else take over the scoring load. I don't necessarily want Mikal Bridges being the number one offensive guy for the Brooklyn Nets. I would like him at number 2. I would like Cam Johnson at a number 3, and for us to find a number 1 guy, you know, I think we can just get it off the bench with Cam Thomas, but that's just me. Other than that, I think we should take our draft picks and get nastiness and grittiness. Get some guys who want to, you know, for lack of better words, bang bodies.
Come on, man. You serious?
Physicality. Yeah, I'm serious about Cam Thomas, man. You know, I feel like a lot of these teams, they're building from the draft, and we shouldn't be an exception. You know, the winning teams are building from the draft, and yeah, we could get an explosive guard like like a Dame Lillard, but for what cost? You know, what would it cost us for us to get a Dame Lillard? You know, is it worth the cost? You know, and if it's worth the cost, how far do we expect Dame Lillard to get the Brooklyn Nets? When, no disrespect, he had a 22.
It's not worth the cost.
Okay, so we agree that it's not worth the cost. Okay.
Bruh. So, hey, let me ask Beezy. Let me ask you a question. So, does Cam Thomas, for you want to put him at the 1 or the 2? Busy.
Oh, my fault. I thought you was asking Sports on the Wire. I got him at the 3. I mean, I got him at the 2. I got Cam Thomas at the 2.
Okay. So what 1 do you feel like would match with if Jack Vaughn allows, you know, Cam Thomas to go? What are you looking for, a specific 1 to mesh with Cam Thomas? Like, do you will have somebody around his age, a little older? Like, you got somebody in mind?
I think we look for somebody who we could throw alley oops to. You know, if you want to make these guards a threat, you got to give them pick and roll options, and you get that from Nas Reed. He's a good pick and roll option for Cam Thomas to play with. You know, I'm just saying, far as production of how we would be successful having Cam Thomas in the backcourt. So yeah, I would mesh him with somebody like that. You know, I think he is the number 1 guy. Nets fans all agree that Nas Reed is the number 1 option. You know, I threw some other guys out there like Thomas Bryant or from the Denver Nuggets, or Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets, or you know what I'm saying? You know, there's other players that can do it, but again, that's why we here in the offseason, because we got swept twice. You know what I'm saying? We trying to figure things out, man. You know, ain't no Nets fans. We all uneasy right now. You know what I mean? These playoffs is long as hell right now. You know, I'm trying to enjoy these playoffs as much as possible, but again, we feel like we came up short with KD and Kyrie. We only got to the second round.
All right, pull up. I want to ask you: do you believe in Cam Thomas?
Yes.
100%. I told Beezy Cam Thomas remind me of Ben Gordon.
Yeah,
he just a little smaller.
Yeah, I checked his stats too. Ben Gordon averaged like shy of 20 points, man. He was a bucket. Averaged like 18, 19 points.
I think Ben Gordon was way more athletic though.
Yeah, no, I think Cam Thomas playing his space, but Cam Thomas got bunnies, man. He jumped wild high, and he don't get hurt, man. He played 67 out of 82 games that first season. He got hurt 1 time, and he came back after that. And then last season, he only played what he played because he got a lot of DNPs, but he wasn't injured. You know, so he might not necessarily be the most athletic dunking it wild.
Yeah, but Breezy, he takes a lot of bad shots.
No,
but he's only in his second year. He's a second year. That's why the development has to come. I don't think you get off him. I think you got to develop him. You got to stick with him. He got the talent. He got the confidence. Just
I know,
now,
but
it's time
you want
to
to
groom
thrust
him.
him. You want to thrust him into a starting role, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
trust him.
throw him there. Throw him in the starting role.
Yeah,
Put him in. Put him in
yeah,
the starting role because he got that it. He got
yeah.
that it.
Yeah, man. Why not? Why not play him a starter when he's scoring 43 games in a row? He scored 40 the last
Yeah,
game.
but he has to actually trust his teammates. He has to take good shots.
Yeah, that come with chemistry though. That come with chemistry. And if he had the two guard, he could break down defense, and he could learn how to make decisions once he break the defense down because he's a two-way player. In my opinion, he don't have the long ball down pack yet, but he definitely know how to attack the basket, put pressure on bigs, get to the free throw line, and he also got a mid-range game. And if the coach trusts in him and instill that confidence in him, like, yo, you are a guy, and he can learn the pick and roll and learn chemistry with the twins with Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Yeah, it's not me just trusting Cam Thomas to lead the team because we got Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. It's all a collective. If we go find a way to play together, like now, if they somewhere right now getting some time in, practicing together, then yeah, we're gonna be super duper nice. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they somewhere together playing basketball right now. I just think they need time together, but they only had a small sample size of 28 games. Everybody talk about the trade deadline like it's the middle of the season. The middle of the season will be 41 games to 41 games. It's actually 54 games to 28 games. So that's a big difference in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, the sample size we'll have going into next season, we'll see. I don't know if they move off of Cam Thomas, but some fans are undecided. Some fans like him, some fans don't. I'm one of the fans I want to keep him. I see the potential. I think if he leaves here, he's going to go somewhere else and play great basketball. I don't think he's going to be one of those. I think he plays great basketball. He's going to average 20 in this league. That's what I think about Cam Thomas. Word. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's look at him. I mean.
Hey, I'm gonna get off here, Beats, by one more thing because I'm surprised Cam ain't got the opportunity he should have because Jack Vaughn is coaching and he's a player himself. How do you feel about Jack Vaughn coaching?
I think he did. I think he felt like he's successful because he was an assistant coach for a long time, and then he went from interim coach to head coach, and then he took the team to the playoffs and made it 5 seasons in a row. So from his perspective, that he's a successful coach going forward, and he's looking for more to come than getting swept in the playoffs. But my perspective is, I still, as a fan, I feel like we came up short with all the expectations we had with KD and Kyrie. But I think he's a good defensive coach, and he got somebody to do the play of development in the Jay Hernandez. And we are slow to get in offensive coordinators that help us with offense. I see that thus far. We haven't gotten anybody yet. So it's not necessarily me trusting Jacque Vaughn as a just by himself. I'm trusting him and the coaching staff. So I do got trust and confidence in Jacque Vaughn because they did part ways with the Nash coaching staff. And I did compare Jacque Vaughn to Nash a lot of times because of all the threes we put up last season. And now that those coaches are gone, that coaching style will be gone. And I do believe, or I am confident that we're going to have a different offense. We're going to have more offensive sets, and our offense will be smoother going forward. So yeah, I trust him. I do trust him.
Respect. Hey, bruh, it was been a pleasure, man, on the panel. I'll be posting up more and more, man. Appreciate you having me on, man. It's all love.
Yeah, now likewise, man. I'll ask you some dope comments. I'm gonna clip some of this, man. I like this. This was fun, man. This was dope.
All right, word up, man. Salute to y'all, brothers, man. Love.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to the pull up, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the pull up. You know what I'm saying? It show was fire. It show was fire. And to the sports to the wire too, man. You make a lot of dope videos about the Brooklyn Nets and trades. And all right, so sports to the wire. Let me ask you, man. how you want the season? How you want the team to look if the season started? If the season started today, how you want the Brooklyn Nets to look for our starting five?
I want a healthy Ben Simmons. That's the main key component right there. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
All right, yeah. So yeah, I want a healthy Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench. If not, play them together. But I definitely want a healthy Ben Simmons. I mean, I think the team is like a plus 10 wins if he's actually healthy, and you can get at least 95% of Ben Simmons back. Healthy Ben Simmons, key thing.
Nah, I was comparing Ben Simmons to Jason Kidd to say, that's when we were winning, when Jason Kidd would push the pace. Not saying Ben Simmons.
He puts pressure on the defense, man. Definitely, man. Yeah.
All right, so does Ben Simmons remind you of Jason Kidd that way? Of
Of course. Yeah, man, definitely. That's why Jason Kidd is actually my favorite player of all the players in the NBA. Like it's the history of the NBA. Jason Kidd is actually my favorite player. I learned so much by watching him actually play. So he just reminds me of Jason Kidd, like a bigger, stronger, more athletic Jason Kidd.
Nah, facts. So, all right, so you would have Ben Simmons at 1. Talk to me. What would the starting five look like?
Oh, well, Ben Simmons, you got Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. I guess Dorian Finney-Smith actually gives you some value. He's a 3-and-D guy. I don't know what's going on with him, though. I mean, he was, up and down for us. And the 5 is a question mark. Nicholas Claxton, I don't think Nicholas Claxton and Ben Simmons can play together. That's why I'm saying you need a Brook Lopez, somebody that can actually stretch the floor from time to time. Naz Reid.
Walk me through that. That thought process of Ben Simmons and Claxton not playing together, because I think they'll play great together. Talk to me.
You need spacing. Good coaches like an Eric Spoelstra will actually exploit that. So you actually need spacing. I mean, it can work during the regular season, but I'm talking about like when you get into like the playoffs. I mean, everything is like there's no more back-to-backs. There's more time to preparation. You can actually look at the weaknesses of the opponents that you actually played against. So we know Nick Claxton, he can't hit free throws. He doesn't have a refined offensive game. He doesn't pass well. He doesn't shoot well. I mean, there's a lot of holes in his game. I did a show about this last night. My last video was about Nick Claxton, and I think he's just a backup big man at best. I mean, he can get you through the regular season, but in terms of the playoffs, you're going to need spacing. So, I mean, these coaches and all the tape and all the video that they actually have of these players, they can get your game down to the molecule in terms of your weaknesses and your strengths.
Nah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I gotta respect that. So, okay, so you traded Nick Claxton for Brook Lopez. How does that work, man? Talk to me.
I could trade Nick Claxton for like a backup point guard. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with Ben, if he's going to be 100 or not. So I would trade Nick Claxton for a backup point guard, and then I would also try to get Brook Lopez, and as a free agent, these guys are free agents. Him and Naz Reid, they're free agents, to sign one of those guys. Just need a guy, like I said, that can provide some resistance. Because if you look at Aaron Gordon, I mean, we want somebody like an Aaron Gordon, somebody that's actually built like that, man. 6'10", like super athletic, bulky, can shoot. I mean, Aaron Gordon's a matchup nightmare for a lot of different players, especially with the screens that they actually do. They can actually cause a lot of matchup problems. So if we can get like a Naz Reid, I mean, somebody that can handle the ball. Brook Lopez, who can provide interior scoring, exterior scoring, and some three-point shooting. I mean, I'll take that, man, over Nick Claxton.
Nah, I'm with you, Brody. I'm with you. This is interesting, man. I've been waiting to do this with you, man. And you got some interesting takes, man. All right, so let me ask you, Mikal Bridges, you think he better at the 3 or the 2?
Who's that?
Mikal Bridges.
He can hit threes. So I would put him at the two. I would put him at the two guard position, the 2 and 3. I mean, he's a 3 and D type. I mean, he can play the 2 to 3, maybe even a 4, depending on the matchup. You know, if it's a skinny like power forward, like a slim, like a 210-pound power forward, then yeah, I would definitely. We could even put him at the 4 if you want to go small. You know, but mainly I would put him at the two guard. I mean, he's better than Cam Thomas, though. I know that for sure.
All right, so you got Cam Johnson at the 3 then. So okay, so you got Mikal Bridges at the 2, Spencer at
Yep.
the 1. So you got Ben Simmons at the 1, Mikal Bridges at the 2, Cam Johnson at the 3, Nas Reed at the 4, and Brooke Lopez at the 5. How was looking? How was looking? Shout out to Sports to the Wire. I guess he'll be right back. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with Sports to the Wire. You know what I mean? I like Cam Thomas. I got Cam Thomas starting at the 2. Word. Shout to Andre 76, man. It was dope having him. Shout to Pull Up. Shout to Sports on the Wire. You know what I'm saying? They be holding it down, man. Appreciate those guys, man. Shout out to Iceman. I see you in the chat. It looked like it's 2 Icemen in the chat. That's me. Yo. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, thanks. Yeah, over
Word.
here.
So yeah. Listen, the whole reason why a lot of this is contingent on Ben Simmons being healthy, right? If he is healthy, the Brooklyn Nets. If he is healthy, the Brooklyn Nets are gonna go one way. If he's not, they're gonna go a different way. You know, because the success of the Brooklyn Nets does come from an explosive point guard. You see that in Jason Kidd and Kenny Anderson. You know, and I could see them wanting to go that direction with Dame Lillard because they can't get Ben Simmons to do it. But they definitely want a point guard. But in prioritizing the point guard and the rebounding, where do you prioritize it first? Do you go rebounding first or point guard first?
I mean, like I said before, we need Ben Simmons 100% healthy, man. The ball moves better. Players move better. I mean, he set screens. There's more man movement, ball movement with him there, and then I will go with the rebounding.
Okay, so you got rebound second into point guard. Okay,
Yeah.
respectfully. I'll do more homework with the draft. Somebody in the chat, Iceman, he said we should get City Sissoko. He's a G League player from France. He's 6'8" and he's a guard. Okay, so this will us be getting a guard first. Let's see what he do. His assists, he get 3 assists a game, but he got two turnovers a game. I don't know how much I like this guy. I don't know. I ain't crazy about him. He all right. He all right. I don't know, man. Certain players, I wanted to prioritize rebounding over having a point guard because, I want to keep Cam Thomas, and I know they want Cam Thomas to play point, but I don't think he's a point guard. I think he's a scoring guard, and we better off letting him score the ball. So your starting 5 is different from my starting 5. I keep Nick Claxton, but I definitely got Nas Reed coming off of the bench. I got Mikal Bridges at 3. Yeah, I got Mikal Bridges at 3.
What a nice 17 here.
I got Mikal Bridges at 3. I got Cam Johnson at 4. I got Nick Claxton at 5. I got Cam Thomas at 2, at the 2 guard, and I got Spencer Dinwiddie at the 1. Now I got Nas Reed coming off of the bench for sure. I got Royce O'Neal. We keeping him. Watanabe, Curry, and
Not
Joe
17
Harris.
competition plus.
We gotta move off. We gotta move off of Watanabe, Curry, Joe Harris, and Patty Mills. You know what I'm saying? And Seth Curry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta move off of those players. And you know, I think that's what we need to do. We need to get Nas Reed off of the bench and have Royce O'Neal off of the bench, and even keep Day'Ron Sharp. You know, keep Day'Ron Sharp off of the bench. And with all of these players that we talking about adding minus Sports to the Wire, how many players do you think that Jacque Vaughn should keep in a rotation? Do you think he should play 8 players in a rotation, 9 players, 10 players? How
Yeah,
many?
not eight-man rotation is good. That way he's got to get plenty of rest.
Okay, respectfully. Shout out to Sports to the Wire. It looked like he was on a bus, but it's all good, man. I'm about to dip like a chip, man. I appreciate talking to y'all, you know. And this was a great stream, man. I thank all y'all for pulling up. And yeah, man, listen, enjoy the day, you know. And Nets fans is the best fans, and we gonna be here for each other until this whole off season. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it through together. You know what I mean? This is Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day.